Salve tota omnes! Here's the follow-up video to Cicero's Pro Marco Marcello number 16. You're going to want to watch that video before this one because we're using Cicero's basic structure to learn some Latin composition. Now here's the original sentence. Quae quidem ego nisi ita magna esse fatear, ut ea vix qui usquam mens aut cogitatio capere reposit a mens sim. Sed tamen sunt alia maiordra. Translation: I would be crazy if I didn't confess that these things are so incredible that hardly anybody has the mind or capacity to grasp them. But still, there are other things even greater. Now, this sentence is relatively short in terms of Cicero's typical prose, much shorter than the previous one, but it is nevertheless fairly complicated. It has 4 distinct clauses. 2 are independent and 2 are dependent. So, from quae through fatear is a dependent clause. Second, from ut through possit is also a dependent clause. Now third, the main clause of the first part of the sentence is just 2 words, a mens sim, I would be crazy. And the fourth clause, and the last part, after the colon, is also an independent clause, from sed down through maiora. So as is our typical practice, let's reduce the sentence, let's distill it to some of its basic components so that we can see their relationship more closely. We will take away the portion after the colon because those 5 words are simple. We will also remove the result clause, or the enuntiatum consecutivum, which constitutes the words from ut through possit. And finally, let's remove the personal pronoun ego. We don't really need it because it's in the verb fatear and is only there for emphasis. And the 2 adverbs quidem and ita, let's remove them as well. So now we are left with this, quae nisi magna esse fatear, a mens sim. Now we need to remember 2 important terms that I use often in all my instructional videos, the terms protasis and apodosis. Now the protasis is the if clause, here nisi fatear, and the apodosis is the then clause, a mens sim. So what kind of conditional do we have here? Now Gildersleeve in his magisterial grammar calls this an ideal conditional, and we may call it a future less vivid. The protasis contains a present subjunctive, fatear, and the apodosis does as well, sim. So we could translate it like this. If I should not confess that these accomplishments are impressive, I would be out of my mind. Now we have a pretty thorough understanding of our skeletal sentence, even though we have not talked about the oratio obliqua, which is from quae through esse magna. But let's make just 2 slight changes in the sentence for practice. First, let's reverse the protasis and the apodosis clauses, which is very common. So now we have a mens sim quae nisi esse magna fatear. Translation: I would be bonkers not to acknowledge that there are tremendous achievements. Now, does reversing the clauses, switching the protasis and the apodosis, does it materially change the meaning? No, but it does affect the emphasis. Let's make one final change. Instead of saying I would be insane not to admit it, let's say I would be insane to deny it. This requires changing the verb fatear to negem, the first singular present subjunctive active, and changing nisi to the simple si. So now we have a mens sim quae si esse magna negem. Translation: people would think I'm nuts if I deny that these are extraordinary exploits. So that was a pretty good workout, and it shows how we can learn and strengthen our Latin by ringing variations on a basic and solid structure, one given to us by, as I like to say, Cicero himself, the amiable artist of Arpinum. So thank you very much for watching, and vale tota omnes. Thank you so much for watching this free video. I hope that you learned a lot about the classical languages and advanced your knowledge and enjoyment. You can help us keep going with this instruction if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've had hundreds of thousands of views in the last 9 years, and we would really like to grow our number of subscribers. If you hit the little bell, you will be notified every time we release a brand new free instructional video. You can also check out one of my Latin or Greek courses at LatinPerDiem.com or mossmethod.com. Check the links if you'd like to study Latin and Greek with me directly. So keep learning, and vale tote omnes.